What's going on, guys? It is Foxy98 here. Welcome back to a brand new video for you guys today here on the channel. Today we are here for another episode of my F1 2019 career mode, and we are here for the Austrian Grand Prix, which I believe is round number 9 of the season. As you can see, having a look, then we've got our first set of driver transfers that have happened in career mode. This is the first time it's happened, so let's have a look at them. So we've got Sergio Perez has moved to Renault, and Ricciardo has been let go by Renault, which is a bit of a shock there. And then also Carlos Sainz has finally got into my career modes. He's now gone to Racing Point to replace Sergio Perez. So Daniel Ricciardo is no longer in my career mode. He's gone. He's been kicked out. So yeah, big stuff there. But obviously we did our negotiations there. And obviously in that scenario, we got our first set of driver transfers, which is quite shocking there. But as you can see, we managed to get one of the upgrades on the car, and it's actually the one that I wanted. It's the major engine upgrade to the oil combustion, I believe it was, unless that was the upgrade that I was looking to get. Oh, it was the oil pressure pump, sorry. That managed to get onto the car for today, and you can see in terms of the power unit side of things, we're now in a fabulous spot. And now we're going to be going ahead and repurchasing the aerodynamic upgrade that failed for today. It actually didn't apply onto the car, unfortunately. And then we're going to purchase another power upgrade. But yeah, there's confirmation there again that we've got Carlos Sainz, the good old-fashioned Carlos, as Zach says it. So I can finally say that now. I've been saying that all the time. But anyway, moving on into qualifying then, having a look at how things stand. Wasn't the best first lap. You see, we went wide in the second to last corner, compromised our run into the final corner, but it's only 4 tenths down actually on Valtteri Bottas, and I was really happy with that run. Hamilton eventually goes and sets an even faster lap of 1:05.2. And I decided to call it a day there in terms of Q1. I didn't run for a second time, which I think is the first time in this career mode that I've not had to do a second run in Q1 to confirm my place into Q2. I just got straight on with it, and yeah, really happy with that. So, as you can see there, Kubica is out, so too is Albon, and also Lucas Weber is out as well. So, yeah, it's not going well for Lucas. Moving on then into Q2, and my first run wasn't the greatest of runs. You can see Hamilton is currently qualifying on a 1:04.9. As we come around the final corner for myself, though, it's going to be a 1:05.9, which is a second shy. Considering I was about 4 tenths off when Hamilton did a 1:05.2, there's still a good couple of tenths to find. I've actually lost time in Q2, which is a bit of a shame there. Moving on though into the final part of qualifying, and as you can see, we set a better first sector. We just get caught on the curb there on the exit of turn 4. Now coming in towards turn 5 here now, as we see braking hard now in towards the corner here, and we actually go wide a little bit there, and just like the classics of qualifying that I do, we've overdone it, and that is qualifying over and done with there. Try not to compromise Vettel there. As you can see, here's a replay there. So as you can see, we just carried a bit too much speed into here. The car didn't like it, got onto the gravel, and then the back end slid there, but obviously we didn't hit a wall this time. Yeah, that is qualifying 2 over and done with. Unfortunately, I actually just completely skipped through qualifying. I just pressed the skip button at that point. But obviously, you can see the grid nonetheless anyway. Yeah, that is going to be it for qualifying then. So, overall, we did actually qualify in P11 because I didn't show it on the screen. So we're going to be starting 11th, which means, obviously, though, we are going to get a fresh choice of tyres for the Grand Prix. So it's not all doom and gloom for us. I would have liked to have qualified further up. I knew there was much more pace in the car that I needed to extract. But it is what it is. We've got to do what we've got to do. Let's get into the race and see how we can perform here at Spielberg. It's the Austrian Grand Prix.
Welcome to Spielberg, and to a circuit that in one form or another has held every Austrian Grand Prix in the championship, except the very first back in 1964. It was at this race that John Watson lost a bet and his beard when he took Team Penske's only F1 victory in 1976. If anything, the stakes are even higher today, with 25 points available for victory and a crucial advantage in the championship fight. The Spielberg circuit then is situated 700 metres above sea level, with just 10 corners making up one of the shortest laps of the season. One time around here is a distance of 2.6 miles, with the best overtaking chances into turn 1 or the tight uphill turn 3. It's time to see how our drivers are stacking up after yesterday's exciting qualifying session. A fantastic effort from Charles Leclerc yesterday puts him on pole, and Valtteri Bottas will line up alongside. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Vettel, Hamilton, Max Verstappen, and Gasly, Butler, Sainz, Perez, and Nico Hülkenberg, Thomas, Magnussen, Lando Norris, and Raikkonen, Grosjean, Weber, Antonio Giovinazzi, and George Russell. Albon and Robert Kubica takes the last spot on the grid. Now it's almost time to lights out, so let's go down to the track.
Alright, so we're on the grid then to start the Austrian Grand Prix, and we decided to swap the strategy from what the team wanted me to do. They wanted me to start on the medium compound tyres, but I just don't feel comfortable running the mediums to start with and then going on to a set of the softs. And you can see that actually the strategy is only a little bit faster, but still it's faster, so I'm going to keep it that way. Also as well, if you can hear any traffic outside or any cars or motorbikes, whatever, obviously I've had to keep my windows open because it's really, really hot and I'm sweating my balls off. So yeah, let's get on with it then anyway. I'm sure you wanted to know that anyway. It's got 5 red lights then to start the Austrian Grand Prix, and it is going to be lights out at some point. There it is, it's lights out. We go then to start the Austrian Grand Prix. It's been a decent getaway from the front lot there. I think Sergio Perez as well, getting a good start off the line. We try to go to the inside line. Hulkenberg makes a massive dive there, catches me out by surprise, and that sort of whacks me off a little bit now as we make the drag up towards turn 3 now. You can see here, we slot in behind Nico Hulkenberg and also behind Devon Bullsack there in the racing point. Charles Leclerc leads the Grand Prix as we now go around the outside here of Hulkenberg and try to go around the outside of Bullsack boy as well in the process there, who gives us a little bit of a shove actually on the exit there as we now get another bit of a shove there. And now it's getting a bit feisty between myself and the Bullsack boy, but eventually we're going to go down the inside in towards turn 4 here, make the move stick down on Bullsack boy and get the position now, and we're up into P7 I think this is now to start things off with. So 11th to 7th, good start to things now. We just need to negotiate the next part of this circuit, of course. Got to be careful through this middle sector because this is where I went off in qualifying, which cost me the opportunity to get into Q3 in the first place now. As you can see, we're flying through here. We've got, who is it? Charles Leclerc leads the Grand Prix ahead of Bottas, Vettel, Hamilton, Verstappen, Gasly, myself, Devon Bullsack, who also go very wide down the sector last corner. That's horribly wide. I believe I got a track extension warning for that as well in the process there. As you can see, there's Max Verstappen having a run at Pierre Gasly now up in towards the first corner here. We're going to sit and watch this one here. Verstappen now going around the outside of Pierre Gasly, making that one stick. Compromises Gasly's line a little bit. That gives us a run now up towards turn 3. Bottas there having a look on Charles Leclerc as well up the front for the racing as we go through in towards turn 3. It's going to be 3 wide here. Bottas trying to find his way past Leclerc in the process. We go around the outside of both Verstappen and also Pierre Gasly. Great double overtake there, and we're up into P5 now. Next up the road is Lewis Hamilton for us as Bottas does take the lead in the Grand Prix here, but here comes Verstappen now. Here comes Verstappen and Gasly actually. Both Red Bulls coming back at me towards turn 3. Both of them have dive bombed me. We've been hit off the circuit slightly there. That allows Carlos Sainz to get back involved now as well, and cheeky old Carlos gets in front of me there. So that's a little bit rash there from the 2 Red Bull cars, but fair play. They're up for a scrap, and you know what? I'm up for one too. So next up the road then we've got to get and try and recover now. We've dropped down to P8 here, but now we need to get onto the back of Carlos and sort things out. We've got Devon Bullsack as well behind us as well. The racing point are just the means for names now. We go down the inside here of Carlos, but unfortunately it doesn't work for us there because we actually were just a little bit too far back, and I wasn't quite that eager into the corner there. As you can see now, Carlos gets the better exit on here as Devon Bullsack follows in behind, but this time around now we have a little look on the inside of Carlos and we do just that. There's a little bit of contact between myself and Carlos, but it's nothing terrible there, and we can carry on our way as here comes Carlos for another attack here in towards the middle sector now, and we just about stay away from Carlos there. Now we can focus back on the 2 Red Bulls of Pierre Gasly and Max Verstappen as they're having another scrap here. Here comes Gasly on Verstappen. There is a fight between both the Red Bull drivers here at the Red Bull ring. We go a little bit deep in towards turn 3. I'm actually shocked that I'm telling you right now that Gasly is attacking Verstappen. It's just insane. I thought Gasly would be fighting a Williams car, but anyway, as you can see now going in towards this turn 4 section, we go down the inside there, very close there to whacking into the back of Verstappen. I think we made a bit of contact there with Gasly, but it's wheel-to-wheel racing. Shut up, get on with it. So as you can see now, we're on our way here, and Verstappen now is our next target, but we've got some great pace here in the McLaren car, and this engine upgrade, this major engine upgrade that we've got for this Grand Prix is really working well for us. No doubt is the McLaren starting to really improve a lot, and as you can see onto lap 5 of the Grand Prix now, we're onto the back of Max Verstappen here, and just look at the straight line speed. I'm not even having to use a higher ERS mode here. We go down the inside of Verstappen, very late on the brakes, drop it into first gear to get the rotation in, and then eventually you can see here, we blast on away, and now Verstappen here, just trying to cover him off a little bit now, as we go in towards the middle sector here, but as you can see, look, the front runners are not really pulling away that much, and both Mercedes cars have overtaken both the Ferraris, so it's a Mercedes 1-2 out front at the moment, and that might be why. But anyway, focusing on ourselves here, we've got Verstappen now with a great exit in the middle sector. This point where the AI is always fast. It's always fast to get in this year now. As we go around the outside and towards turn 8 now, in towards turn 9 or turn 10. I don't know around this track. They keep renaming the corner names. But as you can see, though, we're still side by side with Max Verstappen. None of us here actually got DRS. And now we're going to put Verstappen wide a little bit, give him a tighter angle in towards turn 1. And we do just that. We're able to swoop around the outside, get a clean exit. And that's going to allow Gasly to get onto the back of Verstappen. And that's going to allow us to have that little bit of breathing space. There's the two Racing Point cars following behind us. We've got both the Ferrari cars there in and about. Moving on to lap 8 of the Grand Prix, you can see the gap between myself and Charles Leclerc is 4.5 seconds. Not focused on that. I'm focused on defending against Verstappen here as he comes back for another attack here. Very close now in towards the sector last corner. And as we go in towards the sector last corner now, we're able to close off Verstappen there. And now we go into the last corner here, trying to get a nice clean run through there. A little bit wide on the exit, but it's all right. We can cope with that one now as the sausage curbs are not on the exit of the last corner in this game. But as you can see, Verstappen closing with DRS. There's 3 DRS points along this track, so it's very hard to find the advantage to pull away here. And now Verstappen with a great run on the exit of turn 1. This is what Verstappen did a lot of the times in the real life Austrian Grand Prix. Breezes past by McLaren car, and he's up into 5th place, in this Grand Prix. And that is a comfortable overtake from Max here. But we're now going to have the DRS on the second run here. And unlike obviously in real life, our McLaren is actually competitive. So we're now going to have an attack here on Verstappen now as we go in towards turn 4, down the inside here on the Red Bull car. Very late on the brakes there. We've had to try and succumb on the exit there, but Verstappen doesn't get the run on us. And when I meant to say competitive in real life compared to the McLaren car in 2019 is actually extremely competitive. I'm talking about fighting head to toe with the Red Bulls and not really the guys in front, just the Red Bulls really. So yeah, that's what I kind of meant by that before, you know, you just get those comments from the furious McLaren fans here. But now we've got Verstappen once again coming at us now, but we're actually going to pit on the end of this lap. So we do the switch back there, kind of allow Verstappen to come through so he doesn't block my line. And now we're going to come in for our first stop at the Grand Prix, going on to a set of the medium compound tyres. We're going to take these then a little bit way into the stint. It's going to be the same strategy as Paul Ricard. And actually Pierre Gasly comes into the pits as well there. So Red Bull being very interesting here. They're doing a split strategy, so they're going to have Gasly shadow my strategy and allow Verstappen to do a different one there. So Pierre Gasly is going to do the same as me. He's going to go onto the medium compound tyres. Obviously, like myself, Verstappen might go long, go onto the hard tyres, or he might just pit in a little bit earlier. But no matter what, Red Bull are starting to now think of the fact that they've got an extra car that they can use versus myself. It's obviously a 2-on-1 situation here, and obviously Pierre Gasly is going to try and basically do what I do, and Verstappen then can run his own race and try and help with that. On to lap 11 of the Grand Prix now. Coming out of the pits here, we've got Antonio Giovinazzi in the Alfa Romeo car here, in the way slightly, so I'm just going to give him a nice little kiss there and barge him up my way basically, and I'm going to go and give the team boss some more of Giovinazzi's hair for that. But as you can see, now we're onto the back of Alex Albon. This shouldn't really be a difficult overtake for us. Depends if they come into the pits or not here. So Kubica is coming into the pits, but annoyingly Albon isn't. I brake early in anticipation because there it is, look. They brake so early through there because obviously they're just compromised because of how the pit entry works, and we get such a better drive off the exit of the last corner. I'm using Rich and overtake now. That's Verstappen there coming out of the pits, and if you look at that, we are going to stay in front of Verstappen and get a little bit of a car's advantage over him. In fact, we're going to have both Antonio Giovinazzi and also Alexander Albon, and in fact Pierre Gasly involved in that. But crucially, in this middle stint, Verstappen has gone into a set of soft tyres. So too is Vettel in this Grand Prix. So we might have just we've gone a different way, and it seems to have not worked. Because look, Gasly there is on the medium tyres, so Red Bull have split their strategy and are using it against me here. Clever stuff from these guys, and as you can see now, we're under attack from Verstappen, but we managed to get in front of him, and we're just trying to best our defense here. Verstappen now tries the inside line in towards the sector last corner. I cover that one off and go and defend the inside line myself here, and we just about hold on, but we've got 3 DRS zones now that I've got to try and cope with. And in the middle sector, the Red Bull is faster. Sorry, the middle and the final sector, the Red Bull is faster than myself. And then obviously through the first sector, where I've got a bit more straight line speed, I can't utilize it because I'm stuck with a DRS train at my backside here. So we're in a bit of a predicament at the moment, and now we're just trying to fend off against Verstappen here. And as you can see, lap 19 of the Grand Prix, Verstappen back with more DRS here now on the pit straight here. We're going to let Verstappen through because it's just going to give us DRS then for the next time around as we nearly go into the back of Max there. That's compromised our run towards turn 1. That should be Verstappen now all done and dusted. He'll probably blast up road on those soft tyres, but Whilst we've got DRS for 2 long straights, we're going to try and take advantage of that. We're in rich fuel mixture, now up to the 100 meter ball, braking nice and late. Actually touched the back of Verstappen there. Check my front wing, make sure I didn't break it, but we're fine. So we're going to carry on, and we're going to blast up now with some DRS once again here. Rich mixture enabled. And like I said, look, I'm running medium on the ERS. I'm not running overtake mode as we go down the inside of Verstappen here, dropping it into second gear to get the rotation in, and because obviously our tight angle. But yeah, I'm not having to run overtake mode all the time with this new engine upgrade, because if I've got such raw power, of course I need to make some upgrades on the ERS front of things, but for now we're doing a great job of things. So Verstappen on lap 21 here comes flying through now, and he's going to make that overtake, and once again it's going to be a scrap, but this time we just about get the hang of it, round the outside and towards turn 1, and like I said before, just running the standards, dropping it into no ERS. Because I've got DRS, I can afford to run with no energy recovery system boost, and that is me done and dusted. And meanwhile for Pierre Gasly, it's not going so well for him because he's under attack by the Racing Point car. I believe it is Devon Balsack, so I don't have to panic about Gasly too much here, as once again Verstappen tries it in towards turn 1, but that time was a heavy cut-off into the first corner, and that stops him from getting the run up towards turn 3, and that might even stop him from getting the run up towards turn 4, and it does so. Onto lap 23 of the Grand Prix now. Max Verstappen has come in for his set of for another set of the medium tyres now. For us though, we're coming in for our second set of medium tyres, and actually it might just be that Verstappen on this occasion is now going to get the double, is now going to get the undercut on us. In the first stint, we got the undercut by a few laps, but we didn't really get the chance to utilise that. And with Max obviously on a set of the soft tyres as well, he was just much faster in that stage of the race as Carlos comes into the pits there, and there's Verstappen now on the pit straight and on a set of medium tyres with the undercut done for him. Verstappen does the undercut, and you can see that he's blasting away now. Devon Balsack is behind us there, and it's a clever strategy by Red Bull. So it turns out that a lot of the drivers, actually, it was only really myself and Gasly that I know of that did soft, medium, medium. Everybody else has done soft, medium, and it's actually worked out for them. And now, unfortunately, because I've tried to get my tyres into a working range, Devon Balsack now is coming at me in the Racing Point here. So we're going backwards a little bit now in the latter stages of this Austrian Grand Prix. But we go around the outside and defend against Devon Balsack there. And on this occasion, we can just try and blast away a little bit more now. And yeah, you can see there, Balsack boy has nothing on me on the next straight there. So as you can see now, going in towards turn 4, we now carry on our way with Verstappen there as we go a little bit wide on the grass. Though back end steps out. Devon now having a little look. Yeah, I think some contact there between myself and Balsack boy in towards the middle sector now. We go on through. We just about hold it on. Drop into 4th to get the rotation on the front end, and we survive a little scare there between myself and Devon. Meanwhile, onto lap 32 of the Grand Prix, you can see my gap between myself and Verstappen is 4.5 seconds now, so he's off into the distance. Meanwhile, I still need to focus on Devon. I'm running out of ERS and also fuel mixture. Fuel's alright. ERS I'm running out of. There's a bit of wheel banging there between myself and Balsack boy. Of course, both of us now have actually been promoted to #1 driver for our teams. Of course, in the last episode in France, I got the contract negotiation and I went to first driver for McLaren for the first time, and also Devon Balsack with Sergio Perez leaving has now got #1 driver, and then obviously I believe it's Carlos is #2 driver for them now. There's a bit more banging there between myself and Devon. We're really going at it now, and once again going to go heavy on the brakes, more contact between myself there and Devon, and at that point that was quite a rash overtake, I'm not going to lie, but at the end of the day, me and Devon, we got that hot rivalry blowing, whatever that means. Anyway, Charles Leclerc wins the Austrian Grand Prix, which is an absolute shock, because in the actual real life Austrian Grand Prix, which was one of the best races that I've watched in the turbo hybrid era, as we now go through the final corner though. For us though, it's going to be a very competitive race, really good result. It's going to be P6, and once again, crucially, we beat one of the Red Bull cars, which is exactly what we are consistently aiming for. I'm always trying to beat the Red Bull cars, and obviously the midfield team is a critical one, but if we can try and get in front of those 2 Red Bull cars, that's what I'm aiming for at the moment. The Red Bulls, like I said, they've got much better chassis, much better aero work than I do. But my power unit is really starting to come on tops, and it's getting to a point now where I might actually be able to start leaving the power unit alone and really focus on the aero and the chassis, because the aero and the chassis is still not brilliant. Obviously, like I said in the French Grand Prix episode, or maybe I said it in this one, I don't really know, the McLaren is yet to have a buff from the time of recording this. I've actually recorded up till Belgium. No, I haven't recorded Belgium yet. I think I'm at the Hungarian Grand Prix in terms of recording the races, and there's still been no patch yet for Formula 1 in terms of performance updates. So for all I know, my McLaren might just get even stronger. But anyway, nonetheless though, it is a Ferrari 1-2 in this season, in this race. Obviously, Charles Leclerc wins the Grand Prix ahead of Sebastian Vettel. So both of them two did manage to get back past the Mercedes cars in the race, and Ferrari actually the R&D chart have been pulling away quite a bit from Mercedes, and it's really paying off for them. So yeah, congratulations to Charles Leclerc. He wins ahead of Sebastian Vettel. Bottas beats Lewis Hamilton in the top 4, sorry. Only separated by 7 seconds, actually. I managed to finish in P6. Verstappen finished in P5. He actually finished about 8 seconds clearing me in the end. Devon Bulsack finished ahead of Pierre Gasly. Hulkenberg. Perez scores his first points for Renault. And obviously Carlos doesn't score on his debut. In the Drivers' Championship, you can see everyone pretty much where they are. Obviously, Daniel Ricciardo has been blacked out now because he is no longer in my career mode. We're still splitting the 2 Red Bull cars. And in the Constructors' Championship, the gap between ourselves and Racing Point is now down to 19 points. So we are slowly but surely catching them.
Great work out there today. Let's have your thoughts. How do things stand between you and Lucas now you've come out on top of your
I'm better than him, and yes, that's all I have to say.
You and Devon weren't far apart by the end of the race. How did we match?
Not really, because I finished in front, so I'm better than him. Ballsack boy.
Great. Well, that's everything.
Thank you very much. Right, so there it is then. That is the end of this episode of my F1 2019 career mode. If you guys have enjoyed the video, obviously feel free to drop it a like and obviously subscribe to the channel if you've not yet subscribed already. And it would really mean a lot, and it would obviously show the support that you guys are piling on into these videos, which I really do appreciate, by the way. I really am proud to see the support for my content. And as you can see, a lot of resource points, actually 700 resource points there. So that's a lot that we can work with. And I think we might make an upgrade at the end of the episode. I think we've got enough to do so. So let's have a look then. And if not, obviously, it's just going to cut out with the commentary being terrible. But yeah, a decent result though, P6. Next time around, we're going to be going to the British Grand Prix, my home race. Yeah, until then, guys, I will see you for that video. So until then, guys, thank you very much for watching. And I will see you guys next time. Take care, all. Do we make an upgrade? Let's go to the R&D tree. Let's not actually end the video because we are. Let's do the rear floor under tray chassis development.